entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'ma need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. What the is this motherfucker doing? This thing sweet now because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail. Nah, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Bob. It's crazy right now. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker, huh? Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. What about all these lawsuits though, Pop? Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. Bunch of money hungry and shit. Pop, Justin said, what should he do about his whip though? Man, the f*** is you talking about? You don't see this shit I'm dealing with right now? I know, Bob. I told his stupid ass. Hey, yo, check this out. Tell his light-skinned ass to go make a club appearance or something. Motherfucker, make some money. You 30 years old and shit. Pay your own fucking car. Hey. I told him drop some music. I'm about to drop a new track this week. Everybody gonna want to hear what my sound like. Man, we not doing that shit. Y'all need to stay quiet. Pop, I can rap though. We got attention right now. Man, just do what the I told you to do. And don't forget about the list. Make sure that shit is fucking signed. Alright.
You know, we got the Bad Boy Legacy, Biggie, Mace, everybody. And I feel like I'm a part of that team. I don't feel like I'm going against them. So I feel like
we're being called ugly. When Muhammad Ali was like, I'm so pretty. I'm the greatest. And like,
it might be in the genes, but you practice them for sure? I love your moves. Obviously, that's why I had to know. And you got the little one up in here.
But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arrested.
Oh my God, y'all. The courtroom was packed. I mean, you could literally cut the tension with a knife. Every single news camera was pointed at that entrance, waiting for Sean Diddy Combs to make his appearance. But honey, this wasn't just another day in court. There was something different in the air. Something that had everyone's spider senses tingling. Sure, we all knew about those serious allegations against Diddy, the bad behavior, the endless string of accusations that kept coming like bad news on a Monday. But today was about to serve up some piping hot tea that nobody saw coming. Because baby, all eyes were on Christian Combs. For months, we'd watched Christian and his brothers Justin and Quincy standing by their daddy's side like soldiers through every court date, every media circus, every federal raid. They were the picture of family unity, giving us one for all and all for one realness. But Chile, nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for Christian's role to switch from silent supporter to the star of this legal drama. When Christian took that stand, baby! The tension in that room was thicker than a bowl of grits. He looked cool as a cucumber on the surface, but if you looked close enough, and trust me, I was looking, you could see the weight of what he was about to say, crushing him like a ton of designer bricks. The moment those lips parted, everything changed. His words didn't just hit the courtroom. They crashed through it like a wrecking ball, sending shockwaves through the streets, the media, and honey, don't even get me started on what happened when it hit social media. The internet was about to do what it does best, go absolutely wild. But here's the real gag. Christian wasn't just standing up for Daddy Dearest, he was about to blow the lid off something that people had only whispered about in private VIP sections for years. We're talking powerful connections, secret alliances, and one name that made the whole courtroom gasp. Jay's child.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time. you know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down, racial barriers, break it down, generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z.
For them, it's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business is not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the numbers, the right numbers. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter.
100 victims. More than 24 of those future plaintiffs.
How does that even make sense? 100 victims? This is just one phase of the allegations and stuff. Like, on top of that, he had allegations prior. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Diddy Combs on behalf of more than 100 victims. More than 24 of those future plaintiffs say they were just kids when Combs allegedly assaulted them. We're talking.
Let me tell you what happened next. In his passionate defense of his father, and when I say passionate, I mean passionate, Christian might have just dragged Jay-Z into this whole mess. The way that courtroom gasped when Christian started dropping hints about some mysterious puppet master pulling strings behind the scenes. He didn't name names directly, smart boy, but honey, the implications were clearer than a Kardashian's contour. Outside, it was pure chaos. Journalists were breaking their fingers trying to tweet this tea, and social media, explosion! Had Christian Combs just pulled one of the most powerful men in the world into his daddy's drama, the streets were not ready. But this wasn't just about legal drama, sweetie. This was about legacy. Christian was fighting to protect everything the Combs family had built, everything his daddy had spent decades crafting. We're talking about an empire here, people. And chilly, the internet lost its collective mind. Within minutes, I'm talking minutes, hashtags were trending faster than you can say scandal. Diddy v is Jay-Z. Christian Combs speaks. Every blogger and YouTuber was dissecting Christian's words like they were performing surgery. The big question on everyone's perfectly glossed lips, was this some calculated chess move, or did our boy Christian just have an emotional moment that's going to change everything? Fans started choosing sides faster than a high school cafeteria fight. Team Diddy or Team Jay-Z, everybody had to pick a lane.
That tons of people knew about, from car bombs to assaults to crimes. It's like P. Diddy was going for some kind of high score, trying to catch every possible crime like a Pokemon. He has terrorized the music industry for decades and ruined so many lives. In recent times, the evidence against him to support all of the allegations that have existed for decades has been overwhelming and led to a large investigation against P. Diddy, and now it looks like we're reaching the climactic finale with him being arrested. When this story broke last night, the indictment was sealed.
Room you guys participating in. So, you know they're gonna get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business and Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip-hop and for our community, our people. I turn myself in. Sometimes you gotta face the music. That's most of the time. Puffy, I'm gonna give you some real advice. 2 quick things. You got to make a decision. When you go to prison, either you're going to be standing up pissing or squatting, sitting down pissing. I advise you to try to take the first one, because if you're squatting, pissing on the seat, you know what that means. Oh yeah, by the way, do not do your time going by Brother Love. Brother Love is not a good code name for prison. I'm out.
Baby, the speculation was more intense than a Miami summer. Social media was serving up theories left and right, some wild enough to make a soap opera writer blush, and others digging deep into the long, complicated history between Diddy and Jay-Z. For years, these two had been doing this complicated dance of respect and rivalry, sharing stages and success like frenemies at a fashion show. But Christian's testimony? It was like someone finally turned on the lights at the party, and honey, things weren't as pretty as they seemed. The media was digging like their rent depended on it. Everyone wanted to know, had there been a silent feud brewing all this time? Was Jay-Z more involved in Diddy's legal troubles than a designer is in Fashion Week? Christian's words seemed to confirm what people had been whispering about behind velvet ropes. There were puppet masters pulling strings, and baby, the curtain was being snatched. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team was working harder than a personal trainer before beach season. They had been focused on those federal charges, but now they had to deal with the fact that their client's son might have just poked the biggest bear in the industry. And Jay-Z? Chile, he was keeping quieter than a library at midnight, but sometimes silence speaks volumes.
And when he put his head down, it's one of them white boys sucking on him.
Oh.
You understand? That has happened. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got these guys who, they go into these Turkish houses. Once you get to that door, you don't go back in there. But you know what they do in them Turkish houses. Well, you can assume what they do, quote unquote.
All these trips that Kim and I aren't invited on. You wouldn't pick up for the weekend and leave your kids? You don't have help on the weekends. I'm not saying I want to go. Oh, So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French so good. Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No.
Are you drinking, Chloe? No. You have to get these margaritas out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah, but
last night. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't? I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court.
Oh, you're just so little.
Like my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
Hey, Kev, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
When I hosted for Diddy?
Yeah. Nah?
You asking the wrong person the wrong question. What's your question?
Do you think he's safe in jail?
Wrong person, wrong question.
Listen, Jay-Z's squeaky clean image had been his golden ticket, but now one wrong move could send his whole empire tumbling down faster than last season's trends. And Diddy, already fighting the battle of his life, dragging another industry titan into the mix was like playing with fire while wearing a gasoline suit. The questions about family loyalty had everyone shook. Some people were living for Christian's bravery, seeing it as this desperate, dramatic attempt to save his father's crumbling empire. Others, they were wondering if the pressure had finally gotten to him. I mean, his diss track against 50 Cent was one thing, but this was playing with fire. Outside that courtroom, it was like a fan convention. People holding signs, chanting support for Diddy. But even among his ride or dies, there was confusion thicker than a morning fog. Did Christian's tea spilling help or hurt Daddy's case? Or did it just shine an even bigger spotlight on everything they were trying to keep in the shadows?
Hey man, that's for damn sure. Freak off and got told your world up. But you know what happened? You should have never sued the liquor company. That's where you f***ed up. I don't give a f*** about you tearing up booty holes. You when you sued the liquor company, because the liquor company is owned by the biggest conglomerate on earth, the BlackRock people. You done bit off the hand that was feeding you, and now you done chop both your feet and your hand off, and your head's coming next. You was making money with your just shut. You just thought your ego got out of whack because you was controlling everything at them freak parties. Now you think you control the hand that's feeding you. You stupid mother. He sued the liquor company May 2023. November 2023, Cassie come up with the lawsuit. Connect the dots. Cassie got 2 checks. She got a check from the liquor company people that put her up to doing that shit, and she got a check.
Every name the man ever used. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. I would just like to note here that I do not remember the PD era. That is number one. And number two, shockingly, for those of us who are old enough to remember when he was Puffy, Puffy did not make this. And it appears Puffy did not make this, I guess because he stopped calling himself Puffy way before the allegations in the paperwork. And basically what they are saying is that up until
Baby, as the dust settled on Christian's courtroom revelation, the consequences started unfolding like a designer dress at the Met Gala. Behind those closed doors, Diddy's legal team was scrambling like it was Black Friday at Bergdorf's. The stakes weren't just high, they were astronomical. Jay-Z, usually cooler than an ice sculpture at a summer wedding, was keeping quieter than a mouse in church. Was he huddled up with his legal team, planning some kind of response, or just watching this whole drama unfold like the rest of us? Whatever the reason, his silence was more deafening than front row at a Beyonce concert.
Smokes, you're not going to believe this, but there is, in fact, a Diddy and Michael Jackson connection. Yes, the lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed. You're not going to believe that somehow it is connected to Michael Jackson and his death. And I gotta be honest, I'm kind of terrified. I think this is gonna be the last day that I cover it because we're getting close to something that is very dangerous. All right, so I wasn't kidding at the top, guys. I am probably not going to cover this anymore because it is definitely getting a bit terrifying. Obviously, we covered this. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. I believe it was Monday's episode. But yes, the Diddy lawsuit is absolutely crazy. Full stop. What if I told you guys that it is about to get even crazier, that there is directly a link to Michael Jackson's death? And I want to be clear that when everything was going on with Michael Jackson, the lawsuits...
You are crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. Pray for the young people. You know what this is. It's not a game. And please understand very clearly, there is zero woosah moments, me talking about situations for over more than a decade and a half, and then all of a sudden everybody woke up like, whoa, yo, we thought you were crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm crazy to tell a mother on 3 forms of public transportation across a bridge to get to work to support me that, hey, I may have to pass on these opportunities for scholarships because I'm gonna write a song and we're gonna eat for the rest of our lives. That's crazy. But what I am not is a liar. That I'm not.
Security guard who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Well, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I
No, it's all about love, though. That's not true.
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. What is this?
Honey, let me tell you about the aftermath. From that infamous nightclub drama in the 90s to all those lawsuits and misconduct whispers, Diddy had always bounced back like a rubber band. But this time, Chile, this was different. These federal charges weren't playing, and the government's case was stronger than a double shot of espresso. Christian's testimony, meant to be Daddy's saving grace, had stirred up more drama than a Real Housewives reunion. What started as legal troubles over bad behavior had turned into the biggest media circus since ever. Every single relationship Diddy had ever had, personal and professional, was being put under a microscope bigger than Kim K's diamond ring. Behind the scenes, other celebrities were shaking in their designer boots. Everyone was wondering who'd be next. All those infamous Diddy parties, those connections to the biggest names in music, fashion, and entertainment. Everything was being re-examined like last season's wardrobe. What other secrets were about to come tumbling out of those designer closets? The internet was working harder than a personal trainer in January. News outlets were serving fresh tea daily. New angles, new theories, new names possibly connected to the case. Social media, baby, it was World War III between Team Diddy and Team Jay-Z. Poor Christian was under more pressure than a diamond in the making. Being in the public eye was one thing, but being the star of hip-hop's biggest legal drama? That's a whole different level of exposure. His diss track against 50 Cent might have shown he could handle beef, but this courtroom drama? The stakes were higher than a stiletto heel. Everyone had one question on their minds. Could Christian's bold testimony actually save his father? Or had he just lit a match in a room full of gasoline? And Jay-Z's silence? Would he finally break it? And if he did, would it be the final nail in someone's career coffin? As the trial moves forward, the tension is thicker than a triple-layer cake. The Combs family unity is being tested like never before, and Christian? Baby, he's gone from being just another star kid to the main character in hip-hop's biggest drama. The outcome of this case isn't just about Diddy anymore. It could reshape the entire music industry. And here we all are, front row to the biggest show in town, watching this saga unfold like a slow-motion train wreck in designer clothes. Will Christian's testimony be the lifeline his father needed, or did he just open Pandora's box of industry secrets? Only time will tell, but honey, you know I'll be here spilling all the tea as it happens. Stay tuned, because this drama is far from over, and something tells me we haven't even seen the juiciest parts yet. The question isn't if more bombs will drop, it's when. And when they do, Chili, make sure you've got your popcorn ready because this show is just getting started. And that's the tea, saints and ain'ts. What do you think about all this drama? Is Christian being brave or reckless? Is Jay-Z's silence strategic or suspicious? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is serving more layers than a winter wardrobe.